like we got a little bit of business to do tonight. So everybody welcome to the Fortuna Planning Commission for October 12th, 2021. So members, let's do the flag salute first and roll call. So gonna do flag salute, and everybody at home that's watching, we're not standing, we're not doing, doesn't mean that there's any disrespect involved at all. It's just what we have to do during these times with the with COVID and everything going on, and we're not all there together to be able to do that. So I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. So can we do a roll call, please?
Commissioner Bradley,
Present.
Commissioner Blakely,
Here.
Commissioner Hallie,
Here.
Chairman Mobley,
Yeah.
Commissioner Seitz,
Here.
and Commissioner Wells is back. Can you hear me, Mike?
And we got to make a correction on that. It's not the planning commission meeting for October 12th. It's November 9th, sorry. I'll strike that one, huh? Okay. Mike still having problems? All right, we're gonna move on. So get approval for the minutes for October 12th meeting.
I'll make the motion that we approve the minutes as submitted.
Second. Go ahead, Mark. Third. Second.
Hey, Commissioner Blakely,
Yes.
Commissioner Bradley,
Yes.
Commissioner Hallie,
Yes.
Chairman Mobley,
Yes.
Commissioner Seitz,
Yes.
and Commissioner Wells.
Nod your head.
I don't think he can hear us.
Something's happening.
All right, well, we're gonna open it up to public comment. Members of the public may be heard on any item of interest not on the agenda. Speakers in the committee will be limited to 3 minutes or so. Be advised that by law, the commission is not able to deliberate or take action on issues presented during oral comment. Katie is going to give you a bunch of information here in just a second. She's going to flash it on the screen. So anybody that's listening at home wants to be part of any part of this discussion tonight will be able to use the phone numbers and all the prompts to be part of the meeting. If it's not just on this part, but any part of this tonight, that's the word, that's the way to get in and be involved.
Welcome to Verizon Wireless. Your call cannot be completed as dialed. Please check the number and dial again. Announcement for
Mike, are you using the dial up or the Wi-Fi when you're hitting it? If you hit the Wi-Fi, then we'll be able to talk to you.
Right now, he's trying to call in by phone.
Okay.
followed by pound.
Do we want to give it a minute or we want to keep moving on?
I'll make the motion that we close public comment at this time.
I'll second that.
Pound. Otherwise, just press pound to continue.
So we're going to move on. So we have some business on our committee tonight that we need to elect a vice chair. So I'm gonna open it up to you folks of what you want to do with that. I know I'm a hard act to follow, but I ain't that damn hard, so.
I would like to nominate Kevin Bradley for the position of vice chairman of our planning commission.
I would like to second that.
Thank you.
Okay. Sandy, what, you got anything?
No,
Mike's there.
I totally concur with Mark and Stephanie.
All right. Mike, can you hear us yet?
Yay. I heard him.
Mike, you there?
Did Mike call up on the phone and that's why he can't hear us now because we cut that off?
No.
Okay. I'm all in agreement. So Katie, do we have to actually have a roll call on this or?
Yes, we need to do a roll call vote.
Okay.
Okay. Commissioner Blakely,
Yes.
Commissioner Bradley.
No, but I'll abstain.
Oh, yep, sorry. Commissioner Hallie,
Yes.
Chairman Mobley,
Yes.
Commissioner Sights,
Yes.
and Commissioner Wells. And it looks like Commissioner Wells still.
Having some issues. Okay, well, let's move on to our next order of business. So a public hearing to consider a lot line adjustment between two residential parcels consulting in two parcels of 14,260 square feet and a 9,864 square foot. So can we get some background on that goings on?
Yes, I'm going to share my screen. Okay. Let's see. Just a minute. I'm also having a technical difficulty.
Hey, Mark, have you got audio?
Yes.
I don't. I can't get it to work.
Really?
Yeah.
We're hearing you now.
Hey, Mark, if you can hear me, why don't you tell me he muted himself again?
Okay.
Run that by me again, Kevin.
When he was talking to you on the phone, we could hear.
Okay, I'm unmuted.
Okay, now we
There
can
you
hear him.
go. We can hear you now.
Okay, cool.
Okay.
Thank you.
Can you hear us?
I'm sure I was unmuted.
Okay.
All
I
right,
think you just needed to call me, Mike. That's all that was going on. Are we
okay,
up and running now?
yes.
Okay.
All right,
That's what we call abracadabra.
all right. So we're seeing the lot line, fifth, sorry. Oh my God, I'm having trouble. Okay. Sorry.
Liz, it's okay. Mike understands.
All right, so do we see the PowerPoint, Katie?
Yes.
All right,
I don't think that's the right one.
No, that's not the right one.
Oh, nope, that's Fitzy.
so lot line adjustment.
There, that one is.
That's it.
All right, I knew I'd get there if I didn't. If I just stayed calm. There we go. Okay, our first agenda item is a lot line adjustment. Applicant is Michael and Jerry Del Grande. And this lot line adjustment is located on the east side of Fortuna Boulevard, which is shown on the overhead there. Basically between Redwood Way to the north and Kenmar Road to the south, and it's just south of the Burger King. So for reference point, it is a small residential neighborhood that is tucked away right in that little neighborhood. Oops, just bumped my key. Go back to full screen. There we go. So the blue lines denote the property lines. We have a larger parcel and the smaller parcel. And there's actually, this doesn't show it correctly, but there's a single family residential house. I'm just going to go ahead and move on to the next one. I don't think that aerial is very representative. So the zoning is R16. So even though Fortuna Boulevard, for the most part, is commercial thoroughfare, there is this sliver of R16 that extends from the larger residential zoning to the east. And it does pick up the cluster of houses right along. This is right along Strong's Creek here.
Liz,
And then this is the lot line adjustment map. So you can see the property lines as well here. And you can, this one more accurately shows the development that's on each parcel. So there is, both parcels each have a single family residence. And then the larger parcel does have a detached garage. And you can see that there is an access easement in place that provides access to each of the parcels right off of South Fortuna Boulevard. And then the solid line is the existing property line, and you can see that, no, I'm sorry, the solid and the dashed line, this is the existing property line. And the proposal is to relocate this dashed line to a more north-south direction. And really the purpose of the lot line adjustment, you can see, it's just to give this other house on the smaller lot a larger backyard. So the front parcel, has probably excess yard, and then there's just been an agreement to transfer some of that area to the smaller property. So before the lot line adjustment, this larger parcel, which is 202.121.038, it is 17,760 square feet. And after the transfer, this parcel will be 14,260 square feet. And then for the smaller parcel, it's currently 6,369 square feet, which just to note that already does meet the minimum lot size. So this is not actually a technically undersized lot, as in the R16, the minimum lot size is 6,000 square feet. So this one is just above that. But then after the lot line adjustment, it's going to pick up about 3,500 square feet. And then the resulting parcel will be 9,869 square feet. So both parcels do meet the standards of the R16 zone now. And after the lot line adjustment, they will meet the standards in terms of minimum lot size and building setbacks. So you can see that none of those standards are going to be impacted or reduced. They're still going to have the appropriate setbacks as required. Utilities and access will remain the same through that easement that currently provides access and utilities. So there's nothing, in the rear that's going to be diminished or, impair any services or access or anything like that to the parcels. So it's really straightforward. It's just, adding this vacant, unused area to the other parcel. So this has been reviewed by the city engineer, the city surveyor, and we do send out referrals to the public utilities, PG&E, AT&T, Suddenlink, to make sure that none of their services are impaired, through relocating a property line. And they did not have any issues or any comments. And with that, I will turn it back to the Planning Commission for discussion.
So we're getting some really bad feedback from I don't know what.
I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna message Mike to.
Mike, can you hear me and everybody else? So maybe everybody make sure your microphone.
Okay, I've got you on my phone.
Okay, that helped. Okay. So we're going to bring it back to the commissioners of what you'd like to talk about. Kevin, you want now? You're muted.
I'm sorry, what did you ask me? I didn't quite hear
So
you.
we're bringing it back to
Right.
the commission to discuss this. Any discussion anybody want to bring up?
Looks straightforward to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, me too.
Me also.
I just think it's, just a simple request, and I don't see any reason why we can't move forward on it.
Could I make a motion?
No, not quite yet. We got to open up the public
Oh,
comment.
yes. Okay.
So let's open it up to public comment. Anybody out there that want to talk about this project, please give us a call. Katie's going to flash it again. Katie, we getting anybody talking about it, wanting to call in?
Nope.
Okay, looking for a motion to close public comment.
Motion to close public comment.
I'll support
sec-
that.
Okay. All right, now we're back to you folks. Somebody want to make a motion?
I will make a motion to adopt resolution P-2021-3073, a resolution of the Planning Commission of the City of Fortuna approving a lot line adjustment between two residential parcels resulting in two parcels of 14,260 square feet and 9,869 square feet.
I'll second that.
Okay,
All right, roll call vote. Commissioner Blakely,
Yes.
Commissioner Bradley,
Yes.
Vice Chair Bradley, sorry.
Yeah.
Commissioner Hallie,
Yes.
Chairman Mobley,
Yes.
Commissioner Sights,
Yes.
and Commissioner Wells.
Yes.
Yay.
All right. Thank you all. All right, let's move on to the next one. So did we ever get Adam back on with the,
I see Adam.
and does he have his voice there?
Yes, just turn it on. Hello, everyone.
Hi, Adam.
Hi there.
I'm sure everybody's gonna want to have a question for you here after we start this.
Perfect.
All right, so a public hearing to consider approval of a minor subdivision of a 12.2 acre parcel into two parcels of 0.17 acres and 0.29 acres in size and 11 acre remainder. Okay, and this is at 119 12th Street. So Liz, can we get the background on that one, please?
Yes. I'm gonna go ahead and start sharing my screen. Okay, so everyone can see that. So this shows the project location. And this is located on 12th Street, just north of Newburgh Road and north of Roner Creek. So there's the undercrossing, the culvert, and the kind of bridge that looks over Roner Creek. And it's just north of that and south of Landmark Realty. So it's kind of access to the site is squeezed right in there. And then here is a more detailed location map. So you've got 12th Street on the left, Roner Creek just off site on the bottom. And then the parcel is shown in red. It is a 12+ acre parcel, and it does kind of jog around Landmark Realty. And so it's got frontage along 12th Street. There's a single family residence and then a vacant area. And then on the other side, this is a 40-foot access strip that also has frontage on 12th Street. And then as you can see, the rest of the site is vacant. So it's one single parcel with a single family home. Before I move on, I'll just show some other things. There's the residential neighborhood to the south. There's some residences on the west, and Clendenin's is just below. To the north are apartment buildings and then a vacant field. As you can see, it's being grazed. It looks like sheep maybe. And then Forbusco Lumberyard, and then vacant land to the east. And so Roner Creek does just touch the corner of the property. And then there's also a, I think the overflow channel. There's another better map showing the city's Roner Creek habitat restoration and flood control project did encompass or does encompass some of this site, and there will be an exhibit. There is a city drainage easement along the creek, and there's also a drainage easement, a city drainage easement along the north side, and those were acquired. I think they both were acquired during the city's creek widening project, which finished up a couple of years ago. So let's see. Zoning is R16 for the most part for the larger area to the east, and then right along 12th Street is commercial thoroughfare on both of those pieces. I think this piece in the upper right corner is really just I would consider that this is really R16, that there's not this narrow strip of CT. That's just a map, a little mapping error, or it can be cleaned up and become R16, but that small of a sliver is really just a map, mapping error or a mapping inaccuracy. And then, so this is the tentative map. There's a lot going on here. To the left is the entire map, and then on the right is the 12th Street detail. So just those couple of parcels along 12th Street. So we'll kind of, actually, the next map is a close-up. So this is a close-up of that, what we just saw. So the red is the property line, And you could, so the proposed parcels are parcel 1, which would be the single family residence. So to just create a parcel, parcel lines just to get that house on its own parcel so that, so that the property owner can develop or just manage the rest of the parcel without having that house on it. And then parcel 2 is would be vacant. It does have a 50-foot access easement that has been, that's an existing access easement, and then there's about a 50-foot area to the north of that. So those would be both retain their commercial zoning, and the parcel sizes are 0.17 acres on the residential parcel. So that's about 1/5 of an acre. And then parcel 2 would be about 1/3 of an acre, 0.29 acres. And then the remainder would be about 11 acres. So you can kind of see this does show some additional information. There's the easement to the north to the city. That is for storm drain, and I'm not sure if it's just storm drain or access as well, but so that it would be access for storm drainage maintenance purposes. And then you can see that the city in that Runner Creek flood control project did widen. So this is an overflow channel. Runner Creek is offsite on a portion of the property, and then it just touches the southeastern portion here, and you can see it kind of angles up. And then this is the Runner Creek overflow channel. So, when the creek reaches a certain volume of rainwater, the flooding, the overflow is channelized into this area. So, and that's to, prevent flooding on the houses and the commercial businesses on Fortuna Boulevard and elsewhere. So, and if you've ever had a chance to see, the work that's been done, it is really, really great. And, as you know, that Fortuna Boulevard doesn't flood anymore. And it also allowed these residences to be removed from the 100-year flood. So they're having the benefit of lower flood insurance, or they don't need to get flood insurance anymore. So that's been a huge, financial benefit to them. And also just, the city did restoration, so that it's really an improved creek as far as, having a more natural flow. And it's also been vegetated with native plants, willows and alders and things like that. So it is a really nice project that the city did. So that's, there is, for development purposes, I'll just point out that the city has a 50-foot setback from top of bank. And then there's also, I'll show you the images for the wetlands mapping that's been done, both at the time when the city did the creek improvement project, and then a more recent wetland study by the applicant that showed a reduced, or actually that the wetlands to the north, if most likely dried up and reverted to, non-wetlands as a result of the, now the rainwater doesn't flood this property anymore. It goes into the channel. So I'll show you that in just a minute. So access to the site, this would be, the remainder would be a single parcel at this time. So it would accommodate under the zoning, under the R16 zoning, it would only accommodate one single family residence. And then the applicant has the option of, coming through the easement or coming to the north through the fee title. I think their intent is to use the easement for access to the parcel. At this time, there isn't any immediate plan to further subdivide, although the potential is there. And, as they should. They would develop with that in mind. So they want to, utilize the property as a single family residence in the short term, and then keep in mind that, at some point when they're interested, that they could further subdivide it. And that is allowed by the zoning, of course. So this is the wetland mapping that was done by GHD for the city's flood Mariner Creek widening project. And the property boundary, let's see, is in orange down here, or actually it doesn't really show the property boundary. But the green, both the light green and the dark green, are wetlands that were jurisdictionally determined by Army Corps of Engineers. So that was, accepted by them. The light green, the difference in the greens is just a different type of vegetation. So they both are wetlands. Subsequently, the city did get approval from the regulatory agencies to fill up this front northwest corner, fill the wetlands. And so that removed that portion from this wetland mapping. So that's important because it does, create an area right off of this access point where the site could be developed. So there's definitely that one developable area that isn't impacted by wetlands. And then this is the wetland mapping that was done by just this past spring by the applicant's agent. And so, based on plenty of soil testing and other, their other means of testing, they identified this one, just this one portion. So the grassy area was found to not have wetlands, and it was just in this riparian area here. So through the course of the subdivision referral process, as we do for all of our applications, we do refer them. We send a notice to, all of the utility agencies and schools and, any interested agencies. And we always send them to the California Fish and Wildlife, Army Corps of Engineers, and Water Quality Control Board. And so they do have some authority over wetlands. I mean, Army Corps, they have full authority over wetlands. So, with this site having mapped wetlands, they were interested. They did come out to the site, and, they understood that they recognized that wetland study. They did want to see another follow-up study done in the spring, or in the just at the end of winter, early spring, when the site is wet. So last year being a drought year, and this done in late spring, early summer, they wanted to see it done during the wet period, so that they could, because water and the soil wetness is one of the factors in determining wetlands. So that's where that stands, and the applicant does intend to do that. And really, that long story was kind of just to confirm. Well, let me go back slightly. So if there are wetlands to the north, the combination of the wetlands and the city's creek and wetland setbacks would really narrow down the access to the rear. So the applicant has a few options. One is to move forward with the wetland study that demonstrates that there are no wetlands on the site, and then there would be open access throughout the whole area, which is kind of what we expect based on that recent study. As an alternative, they could try to get access through here to the rear through requesting an amendment to or a reduction in the wetland setback, or I'm sorry, the creek and the wetlands city's general plan 50-foot setbacks, which would open up enough room for a driveway to the rear. And barring both of those, as a alternative, there's room to build in this approved fill area. So, they do have 3 options, but definitely this is the immediate, they do have an ability to come in here and build a single family home, which, fulfills the need or fulfills the purpose of creating a single parcel here. So I hope, that really my purpose in that kind of long story was just to confirm that it is a developable site, regardless of the wetlands and any development constraints, or really the wetlands don't create a development constraint because there is this fill area here with access from the street. So let's see. Working with the city engineer and the utility agencies, there are full utilities in 12th Street. So as a result, there aren't any conditions of approval that require any upgrades to utilities. Same with public access. 12th Street is fully developed, so there's no street widening. Really, the only public works, city engineering condition mainly is, just to install cleanouts and water meters. And those can be done on building permits when the parcels are developed. So any future development for any of the parcels will trigger just, really the basic utilities, to serve each of the structures. The only other condition that was added that's really outside of just the normal development, we do also refer to the local tribes, and the responding tribe was the Bear River Band of the Rennerville Rancheria. And because this site is adjacent to Strong's Creek, which, we know from the records, the tribes did have fishing villages along the creek, along Strong's Creek. So they didn't ask for a specific study, like archaeological actual survey, but they do want to be present when the ground is dug up, either through road grading or single family construction. So it's really just a matter of informing them when grading is going to take place, and they would just have an observer who can, look at the soil that gets dug up and be able to identify if there are any resources that get uncovered. So that's been added as a condition of approval. And that's all I have. There's a lot going on this property, but I think they've done a good job of just laying it out and working around anything, the creek and the easements and the little access issues and things like that. So I'll hand that back to the Planning Commission for questions.
Thank you, Liz. Okay, so I'm coming back to you folks, and any questions for Liz? So this is, Liz, I got one. This is planned on being developed, right?
Yes. It can be developed. So they've got parcel 2 that could be a commercial development that is in the commercial zone. Parcel 1 is a single family residence there now.
Talking about the back part.
Yeah, they can. Well, right now it's a single parcel. So under the R16 zoning, they could develop just a single one home. To do further development would require an additional, future subdivision map. So any housing over that one house, single family house in an ADU, would require a new tentative map and Planning Commission and/or City Council approval. But yeah, their long-term intent is to further subdivide if it's feasible based on wetlands and things like that. And you will have an opportunity to, of course, talk to Adam Fitzy as well, and he can give you more information on his plans. But right now, as this is approved, it would accommodate one residence. and an ADU.
Anybody else have any questions for Liz? Anybody still there?
I'm here.
I'm
I
here,
do
but
not-
I have no questions.
I have no questions either.
I have one, Liz.
Mhm.
So how big is that parcel right behind the real estate office there?
This parcel here,
Yeah,
it's 11 acres.
no, I'm not talking about that one. I'm talking about the one that was, had all the fill.
That is part of the 11-acre parcel. So the fill is on the remainder, the 11-acre remainder.
And we don't know how big that part is.
Oh, gosh, it's, I think it's about, let's see, there's some, I have a, I did
I would
mention,
just
I
say
don't,
that fill goes all the way, I'm sorry, I would just say that fill probably goes all the way, it would be to the south side of Landmark Realty. So it's that edge, yeah, probably goes to where you're pointing to
Yeah.
there. So
And then up
however, you know, it's 40 foot, which is my piece, and then whatever Landmark Realty is.
I think it's probably like a half an acre.
You know, I'm thinking because of all the apartment complexes just to the, what is it, the east there? That would be a good location for multifamily, but it's not zoned for that, is it?
It's, right now, it's not zoned for that,
Okay,
but it is an appropriate area. There's multifamily, you know, on Lonnie Drive to the northwest and then just to the north.
I'm just thinking of potential usage, and that's fine, but that's what I see there.
I think that's a good observation.
Okay, hearing nothing else, let's open it up to public comment. So Katie's gonna flash the number up there. Anybody have any questions or concerns, want to talk about it? Please give us a call. And Liz, I'm sure you sent out all the proper information to all the other landowners around you.
Yes. There are a lot of parcels and there were a lot of notices on this one. And we also publish in the newspaper and post on the website and at City Hall and the River Lodge and at the Chamber office.
While we're waiting, does anybody have any questions for Mike?
I don't.
I don't.
Me either.
Okay. Getting off the hook easy tonight.
Yeah. Well, actually, I do have one quickie. The other 11 acres, is there a time frame at all in mind as to when that new developments might take place in there?
I think when Adam may speak when you open. Or when you close.
You know what, with our big project that our family's doing, my dad's doing, as of right now, there's no exact time. You know, it's a pretty big project we got going on over there. So with just us doing it right now, there's really as of right now, there's nothing, but it's definitely in the back of our mind since that's kind of what our family does. So absolutely.
I was just curious if you had a timeline, that's all, nothing.
Yeah.
Always
Yeah,
nice
I
to see
don't.
new growth, you know? It's always.
Yeah,
nice.
absolutely.
Okay, Katie, we hearing anything on this?
We are not.
I'll make the motion, you close public comment at this time.
I'll second.
All right, so it's going back to you folks for any more discussion or motion or whatever you'd like to do.
Well, I'll make the motion to adopt resolution number P 2021-3072. A resolution of the Planning Commission of the City of Fortuna approving a minor subdivision of 12.2 acres parcel into two parcels, one being 0.17 acres, the other being 0.29 acres in size, and the remaining 11 acre and the 11 acre remainder.
I'll second that.
I'll vote. Commissioner Blakely,
Yes.
Vice Chair Bradley,
Yes.
Commissioner Hallie,
Yes.
Chairman Mobley,
Yes.
Commissioner Seitz,
Yes.
and Commissioner Wells.
Absolutely.
All right, well, there you go. Congratulations.
Thank you. Appreciate it, guys. Thank you.
All right, Liz, we're gonna go back to you. Is there anything going on in the city?
Oh, there's, so the city council on their November 1st meeting did vote to adopt the ADU ordinance. They did express, the similar discomfort to some of the restrictions, that the planning commission expressed. But they felt that, kind of the same thing that, having the guidelines or having the standards would hopefully somewhat simplify the state regulations and also add some protective measures that the city could implement. And so the next item that will be coming forward as part of that SB2 planning grant that we've been working under are multifamily standards. And that is to create a set of standards that would allow multifamily developments to be streamlined. If they comply with all these standards, then they could avoid planning commission or discretionary approval. And that is actually another state mandate that we do that. And that's a housing element program. But hopefully we'll have a lot of good standards, improve. I mean, we've got all of our new multifamily development, they're turning out really nice. So I think they'll be able to follow, the standards that we set up. And if we can make the process easier and facilitate development, and especially that type of infill affordable housing development, that's the purpose of that. So that's going to be the next item that will be coming to the planning commission. And I think that's it for now. I mean, I think we've done a lot. We've rezoned Hilltop and we've rezoned the police department parcel to make those, kind of better projects. And that's on top of the other, fund development that the city's had through the, the McLean, Jean Lucas Park Complex and Open Door. And you've got the senior center on Fortuna Boulevard and things like that. So I think, there's been a lot coming to the planning commission and we've got a lot more in the works. So
I have a question. What's going on at Ray's?
oh, they are just installing ADA parking along that wall. So for the building department, the building official is really happy about it because he's been aware that they have had ADA accessibility issues in the past, and they've incrementally been improving, but he said that this is really going to make it a lot easier for people to access.
Good, okay.
Yeah.
So you brought up Hilltop, so I'm going to ask you what, we got that letter about the people wanting their money back or something, and were we supposed to take some action on that? Were we supposed to do something?
No, that was informational. We sent that along because, she addressed, anytime there's correspondence addressed to the planning commission, we pass it on. That was really like an internal, situation. So she did request a refund. She was upset about, the delay in their project. So they submitted a single family residence with a carport. And then they wanted to move the carport to the rear of the parcel, but that had the larger setback. So they requested the rezone so that they could have a reduced setback and just kind of have it in a better location. And that was fine. We understood, it's difficult when a parcel has that split zoning like that one did. So we were happy to bring that forward. And then with zoning amendments, we always have to pause and look at the kind of larger neighborhood to see if we can, improve. If this, if we're applying it to one parcel, we need to see if it would be fair and appropriate to apply it to, additional parcels. And so in this case, we saw that there was this whole string of houses who had the same split zoning, so we went and picked those up. Well, the applicants perceived that as unfair because they paid for the rezone application and they wanted to split it up. They wanted a refund, or they wanted the other neighbors to contribute. And, the city's response is that they were the applicant. They did get the benefit of what they requested. And, it was the city who brought in those other parcels. It wasn't those property owners who requested it. And, that we followed and, we implemented the normal appropriate rezone procedure. So it wasn't anything out of the ordinary, or unfair or inappropriate. So, and as the applicant, they did get their due process and they did get the benefit that they were seeking. And they were persistent and they requested it a few times. And so the city manager sent the question to the city attorney. And he responded kind of the same, that the timing of the process was appropriate. It was 3 months, from when they submitted to when they got the rezone. And that's what it takes for the 3 hearings. The rezoning takes, planning commission and then 2 council meetings. And so that's going to take 3 months. And they did get their benefit. And, the city council sets the fee, the application fees. And so they paid, that's what they paid. So it was really handled internally, and there was no, there really wasn't anything for the planning commission to do. So it was really just an informational thing. And by the time, or at about that time that you got the letter was when the city attorney and the city manager kind of, they're kind of the ones who implement that fee schedule. And so it kind of ended there. So it wasn't really something to bring up or for you guys to discuss. It was just an informational thing.
Okay, thank you. All right, anybody have any questions, concerns? Looking for a motion.
Make a motion to close the meeting. Sorry.
You can close public comment too.
I make a motion to close public comment. I apologize.
No, you did right. You did right.
I'll second that.
All right, we're gonna close it all. All right, Katie, one last time, please.
All right, Commissioner Blakely,
Yes.
Vice Chair Bradley,
Yes.
Chair Halley,
Yes.
Chairman Mobley,
Yes.
Commissioner Seitz,
Yes.
and Commissioner Wells.
Yes.
Thank you all.
Thank you.